Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So I've received a lot of comments in the comments, and I tell you guys all the time I read every single one. I can't respond to every single one. There are hundreds and hundreds on every video, but I read them all. And several of you have asked me to slow down and do my characters without doing the fast forward finishing them. So I decided today is character day. I'm going to do 4 of them. This one, not too much. This one is actually part of an order. So I'm just going to fulfill the order because I'm doing the characters. And she just wanted opalescent bear with a red little heart down here on him. So that one's not going to be too extravagant. These 3, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to do all my extras and I'm going to show you how I do them. So first of all, we're going to try the chrome powders today. This is the set of 10 that I received not too long ago. I've been using them here and there, but I want to use them on a larger piece so you could see them. So I'm going to do my frog in green, which they call it green. The hippo is going to get done in rose red. And then my little moose or elk guy, his antlers will be the gold and the body will be royal blue. So we're going to check out and see how all these chrome powders are going to look on our characters. And then I'm just going to fill them with the black epoxy resin that's pre-made black. So that's it for what I'm going to do today. The best part is when we unmold them. So I'm just going to start painting all these little, well, not this guy. Don't want him painted. But I figured green is a good color for a frog. So let's do that. And this mold is available. This is my mold. This one's my mold. That one is not my mold. So if you're interested in any of the things that I'm using, molds, no matter who makes them, they're all in the description box. And I will also give you discount codes in the description box to the people that I have codes with, so save you guys some money. This one is just a little, he's got a big head under there and a little neck, so you just have to make sure you get up underneath there and get all the mica powder painted in there. Now this guy is sitting on a rock, and I can't remember all the portions of the rock. I think that's supposed to be his body. So I am going to paint the rock a different color, I think. I just remembered. I don't want to paint the whole thing green. So you can see his feet and you can see his legs. But if you want the rock a different color, just remember that before you go pouring your resin in there. So I'm just going to get his little feet, and then I'm going to clean up around the feet before I paint the rock color. I don't know what color to use for the rock. I'll have to pick another color. Maybe I'll use that gold. I'll use the gold twice because I don't know. I want it to go with the chrome. I don't necessarily want it a different color. So let me get a little micro brushes and stick you on a little fast forward. The rest of them are pretty straightforward, just getting the powder in there. That's 8 ounces of the black epoxy. I split it in half so it didn't bubble over in the vacuum chamber. And I'm just going to pour these, and then I have to mix up some clear for the little bear and put all the glitter in there. So he couldn't be the same batch. Get these poured, and then the fun part is after we're done unmolding them. I'm just gonna pour it slowly so I don't get any bubbles since I just took them all out. And this should avoid all those micro bubbles that come up. I'm just squeezing the eyes to make sure there's no bubbles in there. So if you don't have a vacuum chamber, you're most likely gonna get micro bubbles to raise and then cure in the resin, which would be the bottom of your animal. But if you have a vacuum chamber, that will definitely help stop that from happening. I'm not saying 100%, but it will definitely stop a lot of it. So I think these two are each 2 ounces. Yep. This was a 4 ounce cup. So those two are 4 ounces, and I'm guessing I mixed up too much, but that's okay. We're going to make something out of it. Get it all out of there. I think this one holds 3, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Whoa. I just don't like shoving sticks in when I have mica powder painted on the surface. So I'm just gonna bounce it around, hopefully get some bubbles out. So yeah, I have about 1 ounce left, maybe a little bit more. So what can I make? Maybe I'll hold on to that and see if I'm gonna have any left over of this, and I can put them together in something. Let me mix the other up, and then I'll pour this one with ya. So for the little one, I mixed up 2 ounces. I know he only holds 1.5 ounces. I'm gonna pour in my Heaven glitter, a whole bunch of it. Then I'm gonna transfer it to a larger cup and run it through my vacuum chamber. For the same reason, get all these bubbles out I just stirred in. Since I hand mixed this one, it's way more bubbles. Now I doused it with glitter, so I definitely do not need any Elmer's glue to thicken this up. So I'm just gonna transfer it over to this cup. And maybe I'll combine the 2 of these leftovers into something. I'm thinking maybe some bookmarks for a change. Some black and opal, I think that would be pretty. Well, this is my 4-hour fast cure. I think I said that already, but if I didn't, I didn't. So let me just run it through there and I'll BRB. I'm just gonna take some alcohol, spray the top of that, and spray into this one. So hopefully this is not too thick to get down into his little ears. And I'm gonna squish it around before I pour it all. Make sure it gets down in there. There were a ton of bubbles. I had to release the pressure like 4 or 5 times, and they still all didn't come out. So much glitter in here. All right, so that one's poured. I'm just going to move these back, and I'm going to pour some bookmarks with the rest of it and see what it looks like with black and opal together. Move some stuff. I don't know how many we're going to get. Let's see, we'll do the opal on the top. Whoops. And I think I'm going to make a tiny little opal pendant because I know she said her birthstone was opal. Let me find my pendant mold. Just a little small one. Too much. And then maybe I'll make 2 of them. And then I'm just going to pour some black in, and then I'll figure out what to do with the rest of the black. Whoops. Hopefully I didn't overfill these. I need to grab a tool here so I can combine these together. This way there's not a hard line. Get some glitter down in that black. That one's overfilled, unfortunately. Get some out. I'll just have to trim it. I don't want to mess with it too much. I don't know what these are going to look like from the other side. Hopefully one side's good enough to salvage. I'm going to stick some crushed crystal into the rest of this black. And then pour a couple more bookmarks, I guess. Now that I have new bookmark molds, let's use them. Oh, that's a really long one. We're not going to do the really long one. Let's do that one. That one. Now the crushed crystal will sink in the black and you'll see it really sparkly if you put enough in. I'm not sure I put enough in. I might need a little bit more. Did forget to spray those other ones. Hopefully there won't be any bubbles. Everything's cured. It's time to come out. I did take the little earrings out and I was going to put them together and then I got busy. Here's the 2 pendants, or they could be earrings, I guess. Maybe I'll make them a pair of earrings. Super pearlescent. And then the 2 little black with the crushed crystal in there. So they got those 2. And then I poured these 2. Same thing, black with the crushed crystal. So I have 3 sets of earrings, I guess. We can make this a pendant. See the sparkle in it? How it drops to the bottom. And then a bunch of bookmarks. These are just going to get top coated with UV resin. That came out pretty. You could put something on there, a name or whatever you want. I'm not going to do that for these because I don't know who I'm going to give them to. But I will top coat them, and these are really, you know what, guys? These came out really, really, I can't even bend it. So there's really no reason to top coat them. All I'm gonna do is put a tassel on them. So I don't know if it's the 4 hour or if it's the black or the fact that I turned the heat mat on, but they're super straight and they do not bend. Look at how pretty those came out. I can't believe that they're not, this is the first time they're not bending. It must be these new molds. Very, very pretty. Oh, I'm so happy I don't have to top coat them. Oh, look at that. Now this needs something. I don't know, maybe not, but I always think everything needs something. I can't just leave well enough alone. Some people don't like all that stuff, I know, but well, this one's a little more, but really not enough to top coat if I'm not going to put anything on there. So let me set these aside until I get tassels and move these out of the way and get to the main event. So this little guy, I could see right now there's a line here. We'll see how he looks like that. So the glitters did still sink even though I jam-packed it with glitter. Let's see what he looks like. So this one just needs a little red rhinestone heart where his little heart is. He's still really cute. Just need to trim up the bottom a little bit, which I will do. Don't want to waste your time doing that. These are the next easiest. So let's see how these chrome powders look. Oh man, does that look nice. Those came out beautiful. That's black behind them, remember? And this was the dark blue or deep blue or whatever it was called. I'm gonna squirt some, whoops. These guys can be a little tricky to unmold. Squish that alcohol all around him. All right, he should pop out now. Oh, look at that color. Look at the color. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's got hues of purple when you look at it a certain way in real life. And here's the antlers on him. Everything needs trimmed. We're gonna put their little faces on. I'm not sure you're gonna see a black mouth. I might have to do a different color. I should have thought about that before I picked these colors for these little guys. The hippo is the red color. Look at these colors, aren't they gorgeous? Got some trimming to do. And then the frog with the rock. Green frog, gold rock. Oh, I missed some powder. I could see it already. That really stinks. Oh, I did a terrible job on his face. I couldn't see in there. I wonder if I can, oh, I can't even do that. What am I gonna do to fix him? Now I really have to come up with a plan. I needed a longer brush. Okay, let me come up with a plan, get these all trimmed up and see what we're gonna do. I got all those done just to get them out of my way for now. So here's the earrings. Whoops. 3 pair of earrings. And then the pendant, which is right here. I top coated and didn't put anything on it. It was just nice and fancy without anything on it. And then I just wanted to make sure with the bookmarks, I took one of them and top coated it to see if there was a difference. And there's really not a big difference, not big enough that I need to put UV resin all over these and make them thicker. I mean, it's pretty, but it's pretty without it too. So all I did was add the tassels to the ones with the glitter. I did top coat these though to bring the shine out, and of course I had to add some paws to one of them. And this one I left plain. So maybe I'll leave the bookmark, the pendant, and earrings and sell them as a set. A lot of these things you will find on eBay. A lot of these things get given away with my orders. It just depends how I feel that day. So let's start these guys. So this one, she wanted the face black. And the face is indented. You do have to look for it. So all I do is take a Sharpie marker, color in the eyes, nose, and mouth. And then, whoops, it comes off with alcohol if you get it in the wrong spot. Or if somebody decides that they don't like it and they want to change it. And then I just color in his nose. You need a really thin Sharpie for this mold if you have this mold. You probably already know that. And then his indentation for his mouth, I just take that thin Sharpie and outline it. And then she wanted red rhinestones. This mold has a little, I guess, heart pocket maybe. So she wanted red rhinestones there, and that's all she wanted on this one. The other one she ordered is going to be a little more intense, so I didn't even start that one today. So I have these tiny little red nail rhinestones. And they're very hard to open. Let me find something to open this. And you just take whatever glue you use. I use Liquid Fusion. There's several out there you can use though. And grab your wax pencil. I am going to stick some in his ears because I usually do that. I don't know how many will fit. These are really tiny. Maybe 3 little ones. I'm still thinking about that frog. I'm not sure. Oh, I already did that. I'm not sure how to cover his mouth because it's on like the side of his mouth and I really want to salvage that piece. And then 3 on this little heart down here. And that one will be done. This was your bonus, just so I could get it done at the same time. All right, that's him. Easy peasy. We're gonna let him dry. Put these rhinestones away. These are tricky because this container is so small. But I will keep it out because I'm sure I will be using it. All right, so which one shall we do first? Let's say we'll do the hippo. I just take a Sharpie marker. Same thing with him. His eyes are really tiny. So there's not a whole lot you can do other than color it in. They're not big enough for eyelashes. And usually I'll do the same thing on his mouth. Although he's a dark color, he's going to be hard to see his mouth and his eyes. These guys, I usually put toes on. I usually put a bow on his back and some bling in his ears. So I'm just trying to think what color would go good with this. So I chose these tiny little bows instead of rhinestones for his ears. And these are little iridescent, like opalescent. So I think I'm going to put bows on his ears this time. I've not done that before. And then I have an opalescent rhinestone that I will do for his feet. So all I do to adhere that without putting too much UV resin, I stick a little dot of UV resin on my table here. And I just grab a drop of it and put it where I want it. Just a drop. Then I grab my flashlight and tweezers and I drop the bow where I want it to sit and then cure it with the UV light. And if you feel like you need more, then just kind of coax that UV resin behind there somewhere and then cure it again. And it doesn't take very long. And there it is, stuck. Do the same thing on the other ear. Just get them where you want them. And cure it. Now these hippos, you can't really do a necklace around his neck because look at his neck. So I usually stick to the toenails, something on his back maybe. There's not a ton you can do. Sometimes I'll put a little hat on. This one I'm not going to because I just put bows on her ears. And those are pretty good. And you can even stick rhinestones in the nose. But I think I'm going to just stick to the toes for now. Maybe I'll put a flower on her back. You can also color in the indentations where the toes go. Just put a line of your glue, whichever one you're choosing. Use your wax pencil. And put the nails on. It's that easy. It's time consuming, yes. So make sure you're not like have to go anywhere because these take quite a while. That's why I fast forward these in my normal videos. And I'll do one and then I'm still going to fast forward you or we are going to be here all night. I just want you to get the gist of what I'm doing here. So there's one foot. And then for her back, let me see what I have. I have everything out. So I've got tons of stuff out here today. I even brought my scarves out. Yep, none of the hats are going to fit her. I have little tattoos if you want tattoos. Let's see what color she'll go with this. And sometimes I'll put a rhinestone on there as well. That one's not too bad. It's a little mauve colored one. So I'm going to do the same thing with this as I did. So I'm just going to take some of that UV resin, place it on her back. Put it right there, and I don't know how it does it, but it cures right through the fabric. So I have not had a problem getting that cured on there. And then when it's cured and I'm done with the toenails, I will either put a little flower, probably a little flower. I wonder if I have room for a little crown on her head. See, that's on. So you can glue a little flower or the little rhinestone to match. Let me see these little crowns I have. These little crowns will fit. But I think that's a little too much since I've got the bows on her ears. So I'm not going to do the crown today. So let me get all the toenails done and then we'll move on. All right, her toes are done. I'm just going to go ahead and match the toes to the bow and put a drop of the glue there and pop one matching rhinestone on it just to finish it off. And there she is. Now we just need to let her dry. So the hippo is done. You go sit with the bear. For the elk, I always start with the antlers, and I use E6000 glue and UV resin when I put them on. So I'll stick the glue right here, pop him in his head, and then I just tack it on with UV resin in the back. Just a little line. And I make sure it's hitting his head and his antlers. That way it's not going to move while I'm working on him. And then I always start with the white of the eyes. So I'll do the white of the eyes on the frog and the elk at the same time, because I use oil-based paint markers and they do take a little bit of time to dry before I could put the black on. That's good. So you just draw the white. I just make a circle. And I just freehand it until I think it looks right. And then depending if you're going to put something on him where he's looking at something, figure that out before you draw the pupil. That way he'll be looking in the right direction. A lot of times I'll put something on their nose. Maybe I'll put something on his head today and make him look up. Sometimes I make him cross-eyed looking at a butterfly or something. And sometimes you need 2 coats of the white. And then you just let that dry, and I'm just going to do the same thing on this big guy. He's got really big eyes. And I'm still thinking about his mouth. I don't know how, it's a terrible spot that happened. I'm sure you guys will have a ton of good suggestions after the fact. If you get it on his face, just use alcohol and a micro brush and it'll come right off. Sometimes it's streaky. See how it's streaky? That's when you need 2 coats. And I need to get some off. And yeah, he'll need 2 coats. So I'm going to let this dry before I put the other white coat on. Let it dry again. This is how it gets time consuming. This is why I go fast. But both of these guys look super cute with eyelashes on. So we're going to get to those. But let's concentrate on this one first. For this one, since she's so dark, I have picked out fake lips in pink. You could also add sunglasses if you don't want to draw eyes. I have lots of bows, different bows you could put, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put her lips on with UV resin. Let's see if I can get any more of this off the table. Not too much. Going to need a little bit more. I'm just going to get these placed where I want them. I'll still draw her nose. So since I'm going with pink lips, I'm going to do a pink bow and a pink butterfly up between her eyes. Or maybe I'll put it up on her antlers and have her looking up. I'm not sure yet. So those are stuck pretty good. Just because there's some sticking out on the sides, I'm going to do the same thing. Dab it in the sides of her mouth the best that I can. Just so it has another place to stick. And I picked a bow for her back. Oh, I didn't do a good job on that side. A little bit of resin on her cheek. And then I'm going to do the same rhinestones around her neck. I usually give her necklaces and toenails. For her nose, I just stick 2 little dots right there, which is kind of hard to see. Still waiting on her eyes to dry. I might put another coat of white on though. Just to cover up a few of those lines. I should do the frog too. This one needs it way worse than she did. You can take acrylic paints if you don't have markers. Do the same thing. Actually, I've done that before. I should have done it this time too. If I could get it flowing, then it works better. There we go. You just have to wait longer. Oh, I just messed that one up. Okay, I'm just gonna lay that one down so it doesn't run. For this one, let me see where her butterfly should go. I tried to do the rhinestones last. I either stick them on her nose somewhere. That way she could look down at them. I think that's the best place. All right. Grab some of that UV resin. These are hard to pick up. Everything is so tiny. And then cure it. And I think I'm going to put teeny tiny flowers on her antlers today instead of earrings. And that's good. So for these tiny flowers, I have this whole batch. It's like 420 pieces. All different colors, and I UV resin those on too. So let me see, do I do pink? I don't have, well, I do have some blue. I guess I could do pink and blue. I'm just gonna grab a few that go together because she has 2 sides. There's a pink. Those are not the same. Those are the same. And then some of these are really squashed. How about that? Kind of like red, white, and blue. same thing. I'm just gonna dab a little bit of the UV resin right where I want it. Put the flower on there and cure it from behind. And if you need more, just add a little drop more. So before I do the rhinestones, which I do last all the time, here's her bow and her antlers and her face. So I'm going to do her eyes and her eyelashes, and then I'm going to get all the rhinestones on and she will be done. So since I put the butterfly like right in the center of her face, I'm going to make her looking at the butterfly in the center. So I'm just going to draw the pupil kind of looking that way. And then when the black is dry, I'll put a little white dot in the center just to give her a little bit of sparkle. And if you have to wipe them off and redo them, then you wipe them off and redo them. It's just a little bit of alcohol. You just have to be patient and let them dry. There she is, looking at that. So I'm going to let those dry and grab some eyelashes. And I also UV those on too. So I just take one eyelash, which lasts me for several animals, and I cut it. Let me find my scissors. Cut it like right here, depending on what size eye you're doing. And another one. So I'm going to use 2 of these. One at a time, of course. Make sure you put them on the right way so they don't look like eyebrows. And I just put them right above the white, and they are very sticky. And I press them down. No! They're usually very sticky. And then I'm going to take a drop of UV resin on the back of that eyelash. There it goes. I'm going to drop it on the back and then cure it real quick after I get it off there. And that's just going to hold it in place forever. And it doesn't take very long. There's one. Now the other one. Just make sure it's in place. Don't rush to get that UV resin on, because then you won't be able to fix it. And then UV resin, just a drop. And cure. Then I'm going to go ahead and fast forward you through the rhinestones, because those take a long time. And then we're going to start on that frog, which I still haven't figured out what he can be eating. That's going to cover his cheeks. Oh gosh, I can't believe I did that. That's the worst job I've ever done on mica powder. All right, let's go. I'm doing this one a little bit backwards because look what I found to cover her mouth. A lily pad. So I put the necklace on first because I didn't want to work around the lily pad. So the lily pad, I'm going to UV resin on some ladybugs crawling across, kind of like that, and then put it on her face. So before that, I want to put black in her mouth, like a black line. Oh, that's the wrong pen. And I also want to put her eyes in. So I did her necklace and her toenails in emerald green toenails. The gold necklace to go with the rock. Now, let's, I'm going to put her eyes on first, I think. She's going to be kind of looking down. Whoops, see, now I got to be careful because that's why I do my rhinestones last, because of what I just did. They get out of place and then you have to move them all back. I should just wait till they're dry, but it's really late at night and I don't want to sit around waiting for them to dry. All right, so the eyes are going to be looking down like here. And I just took her toenails off. That is exactly why, you guys. You don't do rhinestones till the end. Now I gotta get them back on before I have to find new ones. All right, let me see if I could do this without I love this pen and I use it all the time, so I'm afraid it's going to run out of ink soon. Not exactly the same. Pretty close. think this one needs a little bit more curve. That's better. Cap this. So I think let's UV resin this on first. So I'm just going to put a nice big drop. I don't know how it's going to work. I wonder if there's a smaller one in here. I think they're all the same size. They're the same size, and I've already cut this one off, so let's just cure it on her face. And we're going to have some little bugs crawling across it. And I need to fix my rhinestones again. Oh, I got it. Yep, it's on there. So, oh, no, it's not either. This is very tricky. I think I'm going to have to cut this flatter. There was a stem on the back, and it's not quite flat. Maybe I'll put my ladybugs on too. Okay, so I finished her up. The only thing left to do is put the white in their eyes, and I think that's it. So I put a flower and the ladybug and a flower there, and I put a couple ladybugs crawling across her face, so it's gonna be like a buffet style, and put her eyelashes on. So you saw me do that on the other one. There's that one. So we're just gonna take the white pen and give them a little dot to the mousse too. A little dot showing where they're looking. Right there. And then we'll do these, and that is it. I got a lot of cleanup on my counter today. I got tons of stuff out. Oh, I need to fix the black on this one first. Something got smudged. There we go. And that is going to be today's video, you guys. I have no idea. You guys know how long it is before I do. But it's definitely a long one. And that is how I finish my little characters. I don't know if I can link all of this stuff because I don't have enough characters in the description box. I will link as much as I can. If there's something there that's not linked, just let me know in the comment section and I will get it to you if I have a link for it. So what do you think about them? I will get you some good pictures. Is that a good save? What would you have done to save that one? I did not want to get rid of this one. Anyway, that's it, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys all have a blessed day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.